In the meantime, actually, Mike and Skylar, while I have you here,
Yeah. We're here for another 53 minutes. So if you've got challenges for us, throw them down.
Yeah, I got a quick one for anyone here who has RPG experience.
I believe,
Sure,
you.
yeah.
I believe you can handle that.
Yeah.
I think we might be able to.
Yeah.
So I think this is primarily intended for the four of you, but if somebody's got some input, please jump in. This is someone looking to have a magical item designed for their D&D campaign.
Oh, let's do it.
So, hi friends. Dice Friends has been a joy to watch, and I've learned a great deal about running tabletop games from you all, so thank you. I'd like to include some of your brilliance in the game I'm running for some coworkers and friends. So if possible, would you please come up with a design for an entertaining or interesting magical item I can bestow or inflict upon my third level players? Actual mechanics are optional, but just whatever you think might be neat.
Third level.
Yeah, third level.
Third level.
And it was for 5th edition?
Doesn't specify the edition, so let's go with 5th edition.
5th edition.
Let's
Okay,
see it.
sure. Well, then we can make some figurines of wondrous power for them. Those are fun. You get a charm bracelet of them. We could each make something like that, maybe?
I'm always a fan, and I'm not suggesting this. I'm just
No.
I'm always a fan of the table of wondrous items.
Yeah, sure.
Sure,
the
yeah.
spoon.
Right.
What make gruel taste better?
Exactly.
And that's
all it does.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel every magic item I've ever made has some kind of terrible drawback that ruins your life in some way, as well as giving you wild superpowers.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's usually the
Hand of Vecna style, but with less power. Yeah.
exactly.
Right, so you want something that's really compelling to use, and yet everyone hates you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's
So,
really just.
Well, I mean, we could stick with the theme here, right?
Process.
I mean, we could just give you something that is a powerful sword or something like that, and it just summons the goose from Untitled Goose Game, and.
Challenge rating, I had 0.5 probably.
Yeah, something like that.
5 feet, a 5 foot length of rope that can be extended, but you don't know that as you extend it, it uses all the threads in your clothing.
Nice!
That's really good. I like that very much.
So it can be a much longer rope. It starts a very small rope, and you don't know that it's going to steal all
If
your
I'm
clothes.
wearing a super...
And it doesn't go back into the
I like that. I like that because it could just be okay, it's just a small length. Oh, okay, it gets longer. And then as the player starts method, it's just can you roll perception? No, you didn't. Okay, no, just keep pulling on it. Don't worry about it.
No,
And then
sure.
at the end, if they need to make it longer, it starts taking their hair.
Actually, I think, no, that's cruel.
Yeah.
Taking other people's clothes is also pretty good.
Oh man, actually just all clothes within 5 feet of it.
Right.
Yes.
Everything just starts to unravel.
It's a small percentage of all clothes within 5 feet.
Anybody touching the rope.
Down there.
So if you have to climb down or something like that.
Right.
I think touching I think you have to be in contact with the rope
I like
to
it.
get that to happen.
I specifically like it if you tie up a boat to a dock with it, and it just sort of takes all the sailors on board and takes all
Just take
away.
turns the
really
sails
good.
into rope.
Yeah.
Can you get the clothes back out of the rope?
No.
No, just
You
The
can
rope is-
compress it, but you do not get your clothes.
You
that's
know
right.
how often. You know how often though you're looking. You come in dungeon corridor. You're and look, there's 100-foot chasm in front of you, but you got 50 feet of rope.
Yep.
How many people did you bring?
Yeah.
Right. You can
Yep.
start
I
calculating.
think it's important that after you are done using it, the rope goes back to being 5 feet long.
Yes,
and it's fed on with
Absolutely. It's a bastard rope.
I think it's up to the GM if they want to make it intelligent, so it talks to the people after it eats their clothes.
Yeah. By the way, that's a giveaway, right? I mean, intelligent talking swords. When your rope starts talking, you're okay, what's up?
The rope of this rope being.
Rope of disrobing.
The rope of disrobing.
Yes, perfect. The rope of disrobing. Abby brings it home.
Or the rope of devouring.
I like the
rope of disrobement.
Yeah,
but
Or it's a disrobing.
The players would just have to find out the name later, right?
Yeah,
Because otherwise it gives it away.
They'd hear it. They'd just, it's disroper.
Disroper.
Yeah.
Disroper?
Oh, well,
maybe it's just spelled with a B and a P together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
So it's like
That's
a
good.
magical
Yeah,
word.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
you get a
I like
piece
it.
one-
Made out of
yeah.
rope.
Yeah, yeah.
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 I think you
Roper.
have to defeat some ropers to get it.
It definitely is it drops from a roper.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
no,
definitely
it
a
has
third
to.
level monster.
Yeah.
You said a couple of them.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And if you're going into the Underdark at third level, you
Yeah.
Sure.
deserve
You
what
need this
get.
rope.
Like,
But I mean, you're thinking all along, like, oh man, the encumbrance value on this 5 feet of rope, nothing.
yeah, nothing. No, it's
Yeah.
good.
Nothing.
No,
Yeah.
chat, not like that. Too lowercase, so it's like it's
Yeah,
like that.
no, like,
Yep.
yeah,
It's like
like
that.
that.
Yeah.
Does that make
I
sense?
think
Yeah.
if you're making a magical item, you are essentially giving your players a gift. So I think
Yeah.
you should always enact the one for you, one for me rule.
Yes, absolutely. Especially the way Scrooge McDuck does it.
Yeah, well, so I think I would like to give. I'm sorry, is my phone ringing?
Yeah.
You know, it's probably a robocall.
I
But
don't think anybody uses
Robocall.
phone calls.
Yeah.
yeah, if
Do you
it's
not get
important,
those?
they'll leave a message.
Oh, we
you
have
were
yeah,
saying?
we've been getting those a lot in Canada where it's
Oh no,
it's just
I
an
only
automated
get robocalls. I
yeah,
don't-
it's just
I
an
don't get
automated
real human.
robocall
Yeah.
that's some sort of scam or something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what was your point about giving gifts?
Yeah, so I think you give them a dice, a die,
Sure.
and it's a magical die. It detects as magic, and if you roll odd numbers, you get some kind of small boon. Okay, so like and sometimes it might be useful to the situation, and sometimes not. So maybe it's like you get like. A bonus to your next dex check or something like that, or you suddenly become 10% more charismatic, allowing you to like scam your way through. So it is just something. It's a subtle item, but it is designed to be used constantly. Maybe you could use it 3 times a day.
Okay.
But if you roll an even number, it appears to do nothing. But what you are actually doing is generating one even d6 wild pigs,
Sure.
which can be deployed by you, the GM, at a time which you think is the most amusing
Right.
to you. So
That
either
sounds amazing.
immediately or perhaps a long time away. Like they spawn in one spot and then travel like
Can I
like an
stack?
arrow.
Can I stack them?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
if
as
they-
a
I think-
GM, you can
I think
pile up those.
yeah, I think you can
Yeah.
just pile them up, and then anytime you have between 30 and 50 of them,
That's
you
right.
can unleash
you
them.
play your feral hogs.
Send the feral hogs out.
Yeah.
I've never thought of the concept of sneaking a die that I have created into my player's dice bag
Oh,
as
I like
like
that.
a cursed item.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That they don't know that. we're-
Right, like every time you see it.
Yeah, when I see
roll.
that die.
Yeah, that's good. That's
I
good.
mean, I was thinking it would be like an in-game trinket or charm.
Oh, no, I
or
love it.
something.
It's
yeah,
great.
It's good. It's
Cool.
good. It's good.
All right, so we have the rope of disrobing,
Yeah.
and we have. Do we have a name for this one?
Die of hogs.
Die.
The-
What does it
My
do from the
Player hog?
what does it do from the player's
should be-
perspective?
It
again?
gives you on an odd number. It gives you a small but applicable boon,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Like the GM
Yeah.
describes or maybe picks from a table.
Yeah.
I would call it my darling because it could be anybody's darling. Die, my darling.
I was thinking
I was
of.
hoping you would end up in die.
It's perhaps a little bit on the nose, but what if it was pearls before swine?
Oh, I like it.
That is,
I like it.
yes.
Okay.
I feel like
I like that very much.
I feel like the place this needs to be found though is they need to find it on the body of somebody who appears to have died via trampling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should always
Ooh,
foreshadow.
like in Morrowind when you get those like scrolls of high jump by just
Yeah.
this person falls out of the sky.
Yes,
and you take
absolutely.
them out of your pockets. You're like, oh, scrolls of high jump.
Yes, absolutely.
And if you aren't very observant, you find out what happened to that person very quickly.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yep.
Cool.
Oh, the
And
dice
this-
must be made of pearl.
Yeah, I want one made of
Yeah, exactly,
pearl and
like a
one
pearl.
made of pig bone.
Right. And this is how a Pathfinder book is made.
Yeah.
We just
There-
do this for
Yep.
47
We literally
more
just
years.
do this.
There you are, chat. We have designed not one but 2 magical items for you to use in that campaign. And even if that wasn't your challenge, feel free to take those items and incorporate them into your own game.
And stat those up.